Hey everyone, this is your humble DM stopping in before the episode to let you in on some new information. We're going to be changing our schedule from 2 episodes every week to 1 episode every week.
What? Why?
Oh, Marcus, I'm glad you asked. It seems to accommodate our new players coming in and giving us their valuable time, we have switched our play schedule from every week to every other week, and thus to not run out of episodes for you lovely people to listen to us, we are switching our schedule to accommodate this change.
But what about the quality of our podcast? It's not going to get any worse, is it?
Fantastic question, Marcus. It's not going to change. And in fact, with more time to work on post-production, the quality of the episodes should increase, if not stay the same.
When are we going to be putting episodes out?
Episodes are changing from every Monday to Thursday to every Thursday.
So every week on Thursday, we can get a new episode of the Out of Character Adventure podcast.
That's right.
You're going to edit that all this mess ups out, right?
Of course.
I'm so glad we can edit that out.
Yeah.
Well, see you later.
And with that fantastic news, we leave you lovely folks with this brand new episode of the Out of Character Adventure podcast. Enjoy. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Out of Character Adventure podcast. I'm your humble DM, George.
I don't know where to go anymore. I'm not right next to you.
Across from the table now.
Well, across from George is now Marcus Womble, your beautifully bald, bearded bastard player. Wait, no. I know my daddy.
To his right,
To my right is...
John Carter, the loud, the obnoxious, also bald, also bearded.
also beautiful.
Oh, thank you. But most definitely more of a bastard. And now, for the first time ever,
Hey guys, this weird guy just walked into my apartment.
had a gun, had everything, called the cops, please help. You've
Say
heard
it
us.
again, I'll kill this whole fucking room right now.
But he brought a D20, so we decided to let him play.
The guy that we've talked about a couple of times on the show.
I think once.
Fuck off, man. Is none other than our good friend Joshua Smith.
And yeah, so across from John is Josh Smith, the tall, not bald, very bearded,
Oh, fuck you.
semi-bastard.
Jesus Christ, how deep is that voice?
I'm sorry. It's not Josh Smith. Underneath the mask is James Earl Jones.
I just went to my dream place and it was great.
I just came in my pants.
Wow.
That would, yeah.
And I have been for the past 8 years of knowing this man.
There's a lot to go.
Anyways, George, we're going back
This,
to George.
no, this,
George,
Go back.
Go.
this has been a time coming, and
I already
I,
came.
for one,
As in for John.
I'm looking forward to having you join in our shenanigans here.
Shenanigans.
We're gonna
Cheers to Josh.
cheers,
Cheers, gentlemen.
cross streams.
I already finished mine.
All right, we're going to get you another one while we're doing the intro stuff.
All right, we don't have any sponsors today, but
Are you going to
Have.
remember the song?
Nah, I'm good.
But we do have a quick shout out to the folks over at Syrinscape for their awesome audio.
Thank you to Syrinscape.
Indeed.
Don't
Thanks
steal
for
my
those
thing.
folks over there for their cool audio interface app.
Hey, Josh, like every episode, John does this really annoying thing when we think Syrinscape. It's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get into why you're listening. Let's play some D&D. It's time for the Out of Character Adventure podcast. Last time in the Out of Character Adventure podcast, our merry band of intrepid adventurers make their way to Orthana Farms to pick up some horses after a couple of ventures into research and looking into their foray to White Ruff. They run into a nomadic troop of hunters of some sort. Some words are tossed back and forth between Darren and the Josie fella who helms the troop of nomads. But after a couple of words traded, they make their way to the farms, only to find out that there's quite a selection of horses, and they have to decide between a number of farms to decide which horse breeder they're going to go with. They pick a horse, saddle up, get some feed, and they make their way on their venture to White Ruff. They run into a strange creature of panther-like design that seems to obscure its form with some sort of shimmering ability that it innately has. It's a rough fight. Some of our friends seem to go down, but they prevail and defeat the creature nonetheless. They make their way to Endergrove Forest surrounding Adelgarden, and they seem to run into some strange ritual of some sort or something sinister in design. They see some form of feral creatures, bipedal and almost humanoidish, surrounding some sort of totem of something. Ashlock, with the aid of his artificial mind, Rodney, is able to survey the field before Rodney is spotted. And that's where we last left off.
We also left off with Rodney spouting off in Draconic at the is it Goblins and Knolls?
Yes.
Nice.
In an attempt to seem like the deity that they were dishonoring.
Or honoring. You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They were burning it and like
Something.
doing bad stuff, I thought.
True. So, you hear the sounds of yipping and yells coming from roughly 300 feet from where you are.
Hey, Ashlock. No, sorry. We ended with Ashlock saying, "Let's go," running into the forest. Hey, Ashlock, wait.
I
Be
skid to
smart.
assault.
Let's be smart. Let's come back a little bit, tie up the horses, and then go forward. You don't even know how to ride a horse yet. You think you can fight on it?
Yeah, you've definitely got a point there.
All right, so
We
we
go
we
back.
tie up the horses real quick, about like 315 feet back.
Okay.
And
I'd say that
Yeah.
takes you roughly 2 minutes.
all right.
Is
Now,
Rodney just still spouting off bullshit?
If you would want him to.
Yeah, I just
Are you perceiving through his senses?
no.
No? All right.
But
All right.
that's the last thing I told him.
Okay.
All right.
Sure enough.
now let's run up a little bit. I like the idea of trees. You want to climb in a tree,
I
or
mean,
do you want me to? Quick, gotta be quick.
You
All right.
do it.
Yeah, because I can throw my fire. I think better than you can shoot your bow.
Okay, that's kind of. Go ahead.
All right.
At this point, I want to go back through Ronnie's senses and see what's going on.
Okay. Give me a perception check with Rodney.
It's an 18.
18.
Wait.
Rodney surveys the area, looks around, and it seems abandoned. The totem or figure that was being revered or attacked, it's hard to discern, but it remains there, alit, flames pouring from the top of it, and a small plume of smoke surrounding the flames itself. The creatures you once saw are nowhere to be seen.
Rodney, where did they go? What happened?
Well, sir, it seems that whenever they were privy to my location, they quickly separated and went into the forest.
Which direction?
They scattered, sir.
Did you see where any of them went?
Yeah, a couple of them went over to my left, and other small bits went to the right. And then after that, I kind of lost track of them. I was busy shouting Draconic.
You were doing a great job. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I brushed up on it.
Are you having this conversation while you're climbing? Or are you...
I think it'd be before I started climbing.
Okay. Climb up. Go.
They left. They're not there anymore.
Where are they coming this way?
I don't know. I don't know. They scattered.
How about you climb up just to be sure?
I'll climb up a tree.
Alright. Get your bow ready.
I pull out my bow.
I'll start walking forward, and as I walk, I'm gonna make the light spell go full brightness. And in Draconic, I'll just start like shouting chicken, broccoli, basil, parsley, cookies, cupcakes, water, just like random things in Draconic as I'm walking forward with my light spell fully bright, which is 20 bright, 20 dim.
All right, so you are just below any like trees. The trees here are pretty sparse. Probably a trunk here or there every 10 feet.
Oh, I thought this was heavily wooded.
Not too heavy. They are substantially thick, probably close to 3 feet in diameter. So they're pretty big trees. They're just not very close together.
Does Ashlock climb it?
Give me a athletics
Thanks, John.
check.
Also, I'm really... oh, damn. I was about to say, I'm really proud that you know your modifiers, but now you're looking this one up.
12.
He struggles a bit, but he manages to get himself up.
Okay. As I'm walking forward, making a scene, do I see anything?
Give me a perception check.
18.
You look around, you try and see around the area. The light that you're emitting makes it a bit difficult to see past it. So it's hard to pick up on anything, and you can't seem to point anything out. That is until
Oh, God.
you hear the sharp whistling sound of something traveling through air. If you want to use your shield,
Yeah.
as you hear this sound,
Yeah.
go ahead, and I'll let you know if it's... well, that'll put your AC at 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still going to hit.
Oh, fuck.
So, go ahead and mark that off.
Worth a try.
Correction. It misses.
Yes.
Sorry, I was looking at their melee weapon. You hear this quick whistle of an arrow passing through the air, and you immediately put up this arcane ward just in time to hear the crash of wood splintering as the arrow breaks across. At this point, I want all three of you to roll initiative.
Da da da. 22.
20.
What did you get?
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I got a 5.
Oh, 5.
Yay.
Starting off strong.
Starting off strong.
Rookie mistake.
I'm just going to go ahead and roll another character to jump into after this character.
Okay, so first in the order is Darren. Darren, you spot the spineless little goblin that shot you. It's attempting to hug the tree for some sort of cover. It doesn't have any, but you are privy to its location. What do you do?
Well, as any good fire-throwing, self-respecting sorcerer will do is throw a firebolt at him.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll the attack.
22.
Completely missed that tray.
22 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
It hit the tray first, and then it decided to bounce out. That's 3. And then I will back up a little bit.
All right, that'll put us to Ashlock. What do you do?
Did I see where that arrow came from?
You saw where the arrow came from, direction-wise. You saw him momentarily, shadowed, but you got a good glimpse of the size of the creature, and that's kind of all the information you would get.
That's all I need. So I know the location of this creature.
Correct.
I'm going to pop Rodney in right next to it.
Alrighty.
I can do that within 60 feet. Am I within 60 feet?
Yeah, it's right in front of him.
Okay. So I pop him in, and Rodney just starts shooting information like Chuck into his mind.
Right.
Intelligence saving throw.
12.
12. Save is 14, so it fails. And he takes 3 points of psychic damage.
3 points.
Fuck
You
'em up,
see...
boy.
3 points of brain hurting.
Alright.
I called that algebra.
You hear...
We all do.
You hear a audible, like, yell coming from whatever this creature is, but stillness, eeriness.
Are we out of combat?
No,
Oh.
there's quiet. Anything else you'd like to do?
Just through my little wolf school,
Mhm.
I'm gonna think to Rodney. Well, did we get him?
He's still up, sir. You hear very little, and quickly this creature seems to vanish out of view. Go ahead and give me perception checks, everyone. Both of you with disadvantage. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Disadvantage for.
He is out of the dim light.
So, I'm actually not perceiving through Rodney right now, but Rodney himself would know because he is able to see.
Okay.
But Ashlock wouldn't know, but Rodney rolled a 13.
Okay.
17.
A 17. All right.
6.
A 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why did we bring him?
You didn't bring anybody.
I shouldn't be here.
You seem to lose track of the creature.
Damn.
There is stillness. And then in unison, there's a quick knocking of bows. And release. You all hear that distinct snap of a bowstring. And then whistling through the air are seemingly multiple arrows. First one is going to Darren. That's a natural 1. Second one is going to Darren. 18.
I'll use another shield charge.
Another clamor of wood breaking upon it. This one going to Ashlock. That's going to be a crit. You take 18 points of piercing damage.
18.
18 points.
Cool.
As this arrow sinks straight into your ribcage and almost you can feel it graze something important.
I know the important parts.
It's your appendix.
It's not that important.
In our world, it's not.
And then the next attack will go against Ashlock. This time with a 17.
That just misses.
Last attack goes against Darren. 22 on the dot.
And that hits.
For 10 points of piercing damage.
Fuck a duck, man.
What are they shooting with?
You hear arrows.
Apparently,
Shooting a whole ballista at
They're shooting spears at you.
You actually hear a 50 cal just like cock and load. They're shooting you from a mile away. So,
oh god.
the time you hear the sound, you're already dead.
yeah. With that, it seems creatures. Well, actually, that would alert them to your. That would alert you to their location. But 3 of them attempt to hide afterwards. So, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Oh, these bitches.
Oh, these are some bitches, eh?
I can tell you right now, you guys spot 2 of them.
10 for Rodney and 6 for me.
Okay.
16.
16. Okay. So 2 of them become known to you, but counting the arrows, there seems to be 1 missing. With that, go ahead and give me another perception check, Josh.
That's a 5.
A 5. Okay.
Starting off strong.
No.
Are you?
You were saving the
It's
good
like
ones.
golf, right?
You're saving
we're
the good
going-
ones for
we're going
combat.
Way low. on
At least you have a pretty voice. That's
Yes,
all
true.
that matters.
That's true. It's got me through.
That's
all
the
these
real
years.
reason we
That's
brought
the
you
only
here.
thing.
You want to announce everything? So, Darren.
Wait. Doesn't he get a turn?
He does.
It's called running.
It's called trying to survey the area.
It's called We'll Get There Eventually.
Nice.
Hopefully, you guys are alive by then.
That's what I'm saying. So Can I tell which one I hit before?
The one that looks the most wounded will be the one that is to your left.
That one?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, we'll cast Scorching Ray, and I will hit him with 2, and then this one with 1.
All right. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
23, and then a natural 20
Mm-hmm.
for one of him's.
All right. He is no longer on the field.
And then a 15 for that one.
Just hits.
That will be 11.
He is scorched, and nothing but ashes seems to be left in his wake.
Good.
All right, Ashlock. You see Darren just let out 3 blasts of fire, 2 of which converge on a goblin and just incinerates it. Nothing but a husk of dried skin and bone is left. The last goes and just scorches the face and completely melts through any bone, cartilage, or any sort of flesh, and nothing but a husk without a head is left. So, you are aware of the primary location of 2 more individuals. What would you like to do?
To Rodney, I would just say, go to the closest one and just. What's a good historian I know?
Historian. Let me tell you about this here historian. There is Monder Gualt.
Mondra.
Monder
Monder.
Gualt.
Gwalt. Yeah. Rodney, go to the closest one. Give him Monder Gwalt's full compendium. All right now. Go. And it's gonna. Does he see the closest one?
You can see him.
Okay, he goes to the closest one, and that'll be a intelligence saving throw.
Correct. See, that's 16 on the die.
That'll save unless he's got -3.
No, he's got a -2 though, so just
Yeah,
saves.
just saves.
So, this creature seems to just kind of cock their head sideways, like, "Meow," and seems to just, it all goes over his head. It's all the Byzantine era, anyways. Not
I like
many
to
people
think
know.
He picks up a few important parts of the golden era.
He actually takes out a pen and paper and starts taking notes. So, unfortunately,
If this goblin survives, he's a genius.
Is this a goblin?
this is not a goblin.
Oh.
Oh,
This is one of the feral humanoid-looking beings.
It's going to be a smart pupper.
And with that, it is now these feral creatures' turn.
Fight me, bitch.
I would also like to climb down out of the tree.
Yeah.
And just step around behind the tree and get some cover.
Okay. You have plenty of movement. That's fine. Excuse me. With that, the creatures move in, and they seem to take tactical positions. One has a clear line of sight on both of you, and the other has a clear line of sight on at least one of you. So, they're going to take respective shots. One against Darren and one against Ashlock. Darren, 22. And against Ashlock, that is going to be a 14.
Does not hit.
So the
What
one
are we
against
rolling?
Ashlock misses
The other one pegs me straight in the thigh.
for 9 points of piercing damage.
Oh, God.
As another quick
Okay, Jim Carrey.
slice through the air, an arrow cuts through, and then they both seem to take cover. You are aware of where they are from when they last shot.
Is there not another one?
There is. I haven't gotten to them yet.
Oh. Oh, that bitch retreats. You retreat, bitch.
A shot goes against, well, the only one that's visible. 14.
Yeah, that misses.
And with that, it is going to attempt to hide again. Go ahead and give me perception checks, and Josh, go ahead and give me a perception check.
13.
Natural one.
13.
13. Okay.
You're staring at a chair, at the tree.
So is my friend over there.
So, what is your character's name?
Sorry, I just got excited.
We'll call him Red.
Red. Red. You've been after this small pack of knoll and goblins for roughly 2 days. They seem to have gotten into a bit of your rations and your supplies and got away with it before you could apprehend them. You've been tracking them successfully, but this past day or so, they've kind of given you the slip up until now. You hear the sound of arrows crashing and the sound of splintering wood. And you also hear the sound of gouts of fire pouring through the air. And this concerns you even more, and you double time it. So go ahead and put yourself generally where you are, 30 feet away from the closest enemy. That's where you manage to get on this on your turn. What did you roll in perception?
13.
13. Natural 1. All right. So both of you seem to lose track of this creature once again.
Fuck him.
As do you, Red. But you get a clear line of sight on this knoll. What would you like to do?
Beautiful. I'm going to take
him up.
my full 30 feet to get to this bad boy right here.
Okay.
Right to his backside.
And I am going to take out my great axe and bury it in the back of his skull.
Do it to it. You too hear the sound of heavy footfall.
I'm sorry, do you do this calmly?
Relatively.
Oh, okay.
It's like chopping wood for him. It's like therapy. So,
I like axe
you
therapy.
two both hear the sound of heavy footfall as you hear something along the lines of a weapon being brandished. And then the attack.
Oh, get it, boy.
Do you let loose a cry of sorts?
Mommy!
I'm going to come up behind him. I'm just going to say, I've been looking for you.
My butthole puckered. My fucking butthole puckered. Jesus.
We're done?
Bed now.
We're done? Do you? You want to go to bed after that?
22 to hit.
That's definitely gonna hit. Go and
behind
roll.
my
Go
bed.
ahead and roll me some damage. I assume you're not raging yet, so
I am not raging.
What's
okay.
that, D12?
That's a 9, though. Plus
9 plus
5.
14?
So 14.
14 points of non-rage damage. All right.
Where have you been my whole life?
So you hear the sound of cracking bone and flesh being cut into.
Does that tree come down?
Somewhere behind this tree before you. And
Great
another.
question. Does that tree come down?
It does not. A whimpering yip comes from behind a tree. Anything else you'd like to do, Red?
No, that's really about it.
Awesome.
So ready to lay into him again next turn.
Sounds good. So,
I'm real
it seems caught off guard. Actually, in fact,
I'm real conflicted because my dad's nickname was Red.
that'll bring us to Darren. Darren, you aren't sure of what's going on, but you are pretty aware that this creature just got struck by something, and pretty heavily.
Am I ever aware what's going on? I will. Shit. I will shit. That's what I'll do.
All right. Roll me to shit.
So 17 on the die?
You didn't roll number 2, so it doesn't go through.
Oh, I tea kettle. Oh. Fuck. All right.
He just slow pitched it right there. It was beautiful.
I
My
will.
number 2 doesn't look like a number 2.
I see him there.
He's going to have
Half.
half cover, yeah.
All right. Fuck half cover. I ignore that shit.
Cool.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks to my
boy.
artificer bonus from my friend, and I will cast a chromatic orb
Okay.
on him, and I will make this one of the hot and spicy fuego variety,
Picante.
picante, and I will spin it and like kind of slightly jab my staff in the ground and just like waft the fire chromatic orb to him. It's an 18 on the die.
Hits.
So that's a 3d8.
What the fuck?
8, 8, and 6. That's 22.
22.
Plus 1, so 23.
All right. With that,
From 10 feet away.
this creature almost snickering in a very like hyena fashion, just this small cackling as it seems to feel safe behind its cover. Quickly, it turns south for them as this great gout of flame just immerses them, and nothing but their legs, a smoldering heap, is what remains.
And I would like to call out in common. Alright, now, all your buddies are dead. Come out with your hands not on your bow and figure something out. You hear?
Go ahead and give me a intimidation or persuasion check, your choice.
Intimidation. It's a natural 20 plus a 7, so it's a 27.
Okay.
Grandma just shit her pants.
I'm gonna make this little goblin my gimp.
That's what we in the industry call not okay.
This is your first day in this industry? Fuck off. I'm a veteran, you hear?
So, Red, you hear this very demanding and forceful tone coming from this individual that you see with your light available coming forward. It does eventually end up behind a tree, but as you see a almost sun-beaten skin and these red auburn dreads tied together by this beautiful golden clasp. These red vestments, a red vest with gold filigree on it, and this skirt-like, scale mill-like contraption flowing to his knees.
His top, his halter top is like mid-ribs, and his skirt goes above the knees, and spattered throughout, almost looking like it's going across all like the skeletal like form. Is you see a bunch of like golden scales that are about like half an inch wide for each, like all the lines and stuff, that I would assume reflects off pretty well from the light.
And he steps forward, and you see in your periphery just a bright flash momentarily, and then silence before he gives this ostentatious and demanding cry out to some other creature, presumably. Ashlock, what do you do?
Cool.
Ashlock will take 5 feet of movement around the back of that tree.
Did you hear the guy being attacked, or is it just me, George?
Both of you would have heard it. What
Yeah.
the fucking...
Definitely hiding behind that tree.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. And Rodney, go check that out. And Rodney will move 30 feet in the direction of
The
you,
women.
incomer.
You are able to visibly see him. You're not perceiving through his vision yet.
I will actually use my action to perceive through his
All right.
senses.
As you do, this bright light that Rodney emanates gives way to the visage that is red. What do they see?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Coming out of the shadow, you see hulking figure, roughly 6'4". Leaner, but it's that tight cords of muscle. He's not built. You'd say he's probably about 212, give or take. So fairly skinny for that height. Just light furs, nothing, no sort of armor, nothing impressive. Long black braid running back down his back. Brownish green skin, almost kind of like that swamp mud type of, and just piercing green eyes.
What race?
He's a half-orc.
Any tattoos, markings?
No, not really. Does look like he has two sizable tusks coming from that underbite, that
Okay.
orc underbite under there. But that's really about it.
Facial hair.
Big chin strap. Think Abe Lincoln-esque
Yes.
chin strap.
Is this just basically half-orc Abe Lincoln?
More or less, yeah. If you've ever seen Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter with, the axe and everything,
Oh.
it's basically
Yeah.
it's basically half orc. Yeah.
Speaking of which, as you perceive this very strong and capable looking individual, you see them retract this axe from this creature that you know has been aggressive towards you. And just, you see blood streak down as he wipes it with just one quick sweep of the axe. All the blood just falls off.
Is he getting ready to liberate this knoll of his life?
With that, brings us to these enemies. The knoll seems to turn around and just spit out this big glob of coagulated blood from its mouth. And you see there's more that seems to be seeping out from its side, some internal bleeding and hemorrhaging, obvious. And it just spits, looks in the direction of Darren and looks in the direction of Red, and just throws down its bow. And it seems to throw down some other weapons, but it disposes of them. But there's no sign of the other individual.
Oh, this bitch about to get filleted.
There's no attack, but there's
I mean-
also no appearance of this individual.
Okay.
So it does seem you have managed to thwart their attack with
Right.
your intimidation attempt, leaving this individual, this one lone, knoll, to fend for itself.
I mean, do I see that knoll?
You hear the sound of clattering metal onto the ground, where you know this knoll is probably at. But it also could be this newfound individual. You don't know.
Yeah. Does that individual hack at him again?
So, if you all want to act aggressively, looking at your red, you have the option of taking another attack, but it has thrown down its weapons. I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to stay in combat or do you want to move out?
I'm holding this as a grudge. He's been a pain to get a hold of.
True.
And he deserves to die.
Okay. Go ahead and go roll me another attack.
Would it be with advantage since the
No.
guy is pretty much giving up?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's an 11.
11 is going to miss. So you go to strike, but this time you do gleam its armor and it manages to deflect away your attack. With that, it is going to resume its aggressive nature on its turn, though.
Okay.
You hear the sound of metal hitting armor, Darren, off to the side. Two individuals that you are unfamiliar with, having whatever kind of altercation they're having. What do? You haven't seen anything.
I was about to say I'm assuming I haven't seen anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm just assuming that they're getting ready for another attack. So as I'm walking around this tree, I'm gonna be like, hey, I said enough of this damn nonsense. That's gonna be my turn.
Okay. So you are now privy to this half-orc individual who's brandishing a great axe, right? Mm-hmm. A great axe. And this unarmed Ashlock. What do you do?
I go, hey Rodney, who dat?
Do you do that?
Yeah. Rodney, who's that? Rodney, who dat?
So I guess the first thing is Rodney would answer that with,
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know, sir. It seems he came out and started attacking that knoll specifically.
And
He said something along the lines of, I've been looking for you.
It's high noon.
Ashlock is very drawn by what's happening in front of Rodney. He did hear the clattering of the metal behind. So I feel like his senses would be drawn towards the confrontation happening behind, but like a little bit of curiosity behind him. So Rodney will probably move about 20 feet that way, but keep his eyes on Red and probably like straight towards that tree.
Very well.
Does
Anything
he give
else?
A look around before he focuses it back on?
I think the main focus is just like what the fuck is going on up here, but like slight curiosity, so he'll move out, but still keep an eye on what's going on over there.
All right.
Very well. And that'll bring us to the knoll, who looks out at the three of you, or the two of you. Make yourself present.
I'm just gonna say I look completely dumbfounded and shocked, so I may not be an opposing force.
And a glowing head that's just slowly wafting away.
So, this individual, as you attacked it, its attention quickly turned to you, Red. Its eyes just dilate to or to an insane degree, and you see their mouth slightly foam out a little bit. They don't even bother picking up their weapons, and they immediately snap at you with a bite with a 12.
That's a miss.
They go to strike at you, but your thick, muddied green skin doesn't even let a tooth through. And you just steel yourself and with an elbow just rip them from your person.
So
And there is fire and fury in this creature's eyes as it knows now this is a fight to the death. And it's not even bothering you with you, Darren, which is a folly of its own, as it'll soon find out.
So, but I literally just saw this big dog person bite him and like not do anything to him, like completely unfazed, like Red was unfazed. Doesn't even look like it hurt him at all.
It was more of a bother than anything else.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So a bite and then just elbow to the throat just pushes him off. And that's where we pick up with you, Darren. Correction. Red. We
So
pick
I
up
know
with
I
you.
rolled low, but
So low, we skip you every other turn.
as I shoulder this thing off, I'm just going to say, now that's more like it. I'm going to heft that axe again. Whatever, an 18 plus 7 is.
Yeah.
Math.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh.
That's another 14 points of damage.
Another 14. Very well. I'll let you take it from here.
Oh, yeah.
As I shoulder this thing back and he kind of bounces against the foliage here, I'm just going to whip that axe up and just drop it straight down in the center of this little bastard's skull and just send him right there.
And send him you do.
Beautiful.
As the spray of ichor fills your face, and some of it even into your mouth, that distinct irony taste of fresh blood, and you relish in it. A job well done. A job completed. But perhaps, maybe unbeknownst to you, there is one more creature who is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
But with that, we leave combat.
So I'm just going to sit there for a second. Still super confused in my head how I saw this big dog person bite at this new half-orc, and the half-orc just shrug off this bite, and the bite leaving its skin, no damage, just half-orc completely unbothered by it. And I'm just going to take 5 steps forward and go, hey, you friend or fro there, buddy?
Well, Did you steal shit from me too, or was it just them?
Well, I'm not a thief, and I have no idea who you are or where you've been. Does that answer your question?
At least for now, it seems like. And I'm just going to bend down and start to try to recover my anything from this knoll that I just...
Very well. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
We were just passing by and heard cackling and noises.
It's a 5.
A 5. Much to your dismay and frustration, your rations and supplies are nowhere to be found.
And we decided to scout and see what it was. We were traveling through unknown territory and saw them, and they found our scout and started attacking us. And at that point, you showed up, so it looked like we had a common enemy.
It sounds like that's probably correct. I've been tracking them for a few days now. Son of a bitch. No, they don't... There anything left of that one over there, or is he just kind of...
I look at the 3 that I killed.
Husks.
Well,
if anything.
It looks like anything they had on them is burned to nothing. I'm sorry, it's kind of my thing.
Ashlock, during this time, what are you doing, and what are you having Rodney do?
Ashlock is definitely still hiding behind his tree. He is not coming out with this.
Roll Constitution check to see if you hold in your pee.
Oh yeah, he pees just a little bit. It's a little, like a quarter.
A wee little wee.
Yes. But he will have Rodney just slowly drift up on.
Red, you see this apparition-like wolf individual with... If you could imagine...
It's just a head right now, right?
Yeah, it's a head.
Okay, you see a small wolf's head the size of a fairy, correct? It's tiny?
Yeah, it's a tiny.
So, the size of a fairy or a will-o-wisp start floating its way gently towards you, emanating this light. Are you apprehensive at all?
Little bit. I'm... This is kind of where I live. This is where I spend most of my time. That being said, I don't know. Would I be familiar at all with kind of the fairy, fae?
You go ahead and roll me a Arcana or Nature, your choice.
Definitely going for nature.
Since they both phase into live within both.
Cool. We're going to use that die now. That's a nat 20.
All right. So, you are pretty accustomed to even strange fairy occurrences, fey creatures. But this doesn't seem to fit that description exactly. It is a very vibrant and enigmatic figure, but it doesn't seem to have the same whimsical, jovial nature that a fairy would have. But it also doesn't seem to pose any actual threat, as it seems almost semi-translucent. And your newfound friend here doesn't seem to be bothered by it or surprised by it at all. As it makes its way towards you, what would you have Rodney say?
I was just going to say Rodney kind of just observes, takes stuff in, and then kind of starts making a 360 around the pair as they're talking, like taking every bit of information in.
Right. Almost like a 3D scan.
So, as that's happening, pretty sure, since you realize it's not whatever you thought it was, you have a little bit of confusion on your face, plus of the son of a bitch I'm not seeing. Are you looking for something? Did these individuals steal something from you? And don't worry, that's just Rodney. He's fine.
What is he?
Well,
At that point, I would have Rodney kind of speak up and spout off about him being an artificial mind and helping Ashlock and all that.
say, well, my friend.
What you see, I'm actually...
Marcus, do you want to explain it to Josh? Because
Yeah, so as an archivist artificer, I am able to put some inscriptions into a normal item, and imbue some of that extra knowledge that kind of ties me down, and it's able to assist me with different things. So it gives me a couple more proficiencies, and I can kind of, like a familiar, perceive through it as
Okay.
it's a lot like Jarvis.
I was about to say, it's very like Dresden Files-esque. It's like Bob the Skull. Like he's
Yeah.
his own little...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I was
Just
like,
gonna kind
well,
of
my friend could, or my friend could have Rodney speak for him. My friend is that way. He's kind of shy and timid. His name's Ashlock. He'll probably come out when he feels more safe.
He first casts Cure Wounds on himself for 11 points.
And
Nice.
but Rodney's one of the things that we use to help scout around. The other one is this. It's my Johnson. I'll just kind of like hip thrust and throw so kind of looks like it's basically a flying snake, but it's like looks like a golden worm because it has wings. It's golden scaled, more like draconic in its face, and just flies around. We both have familiars that we basically have, and that's how we look around. But it looks like you're looking for something, friend.
Weird. These little bastards stole plenty of food and supplies from me, and I planned on getting it back, but clearly that is not a feasible option at the moment.
Well, I feel like part of that's my fault.
I would agree.
How about some very high quality jerky and sausage for your troubles? There's a traveling group of hunters and tanners around south of the nearest town of Ormondshire, and
It's west.
west.
They're actually west.
Oh, shit.
For the first
So
time
you-
about 60 feet away, you hear a little voice go, "His name's Josie."
Actually, go ahead and roll history. Because there's quite a likelihood that
Okay.
I don't know what just happened. That's a 13.
a 13, easily enough. Yeah, they're pretty nomadic, so they would make their way to Endergrove. You have run into these individuals before. They're fine folk. They are definitely hunters, tanners, butchers, and just make their living through hunting and foraging.
Cool. Okay.
They're good folk.
Those are my type of people. I'm familiar.
Well, I just got done purchasing some of their edible wares the other day, and the first time I ran into them. Josie and I kind of came off on the wrong foot, and so I bought a bunch just to help.
Can I
make
just
things amends.
stop you for a second to say that you said edible wares, and all I could think of was you bought edible underwear
Yeah.
from
Yep.
them?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wait, isn't that not what y'all do with y'all's jerky?
About one time.
That's
Am I
not what.
using
That's
my
not why they
jerky
call
wrong?
it jerky. Okay, that is not why they call it jerky. Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
This is a kids show.
Oh, Josh, it is not.
We have lost that title long ago.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 0, actually.
Yeah. Well, if you would like, I could give you some of that.
That'd be much appreciated. It only seems fair.
He hands over some edible underwear.
It's literally in the shape of a G-string.
I'm a size 9.
But yeah, looks like we got everyone, so we're fine.
So around the corner of that tree, or the edge of that tree, you start to see the peak of some...
No, he doesn't.
Okay, I'm not over there, so I can't move him,
I
but
would
he walks
I've,
up.
I've also kind of moved in a little bit here.
So Rodney makes his way up to that tree and kind of pokes his head around. And as he does, you see the peak of some red hair that's kind of pointed at the back of his skull, kind of poke around as these wide eyes kind of start staring at you, just like taking it all in. And you see this very scrawny little red goatee just kind of pointing down at the bottom of his chin. And as you see like his clothes, like whatever color this gray could give off, like the only color could be brown. Like it's very, very drab, like does not draw attention to him at all. But you see a couple of pouches hanging at his thighs and a backpack, and like he is strapped up with a lot of tools and just some bunch of stuff for making random shit.
You've seen Death Note, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember L, his eyes? That's basically Ashlock's eyes. This is Ginger Steampunk L from
yeah.
Death Note.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that over there is that's Ashlock. Ashlock, say hi.
Hi.
Louder, I can't hear you.
Hi.
He's just a little filler.
Yeah, he's real timid, but I'm telling you, I'll never come across anyone smarter than him. If you do, it's impossible. Godlike of a person at that point.
Good.
So these people, and I'll be like, our horses are over this way if you want to come get your meats.
Really quick, just now that I'm thinking about it, since I've been tracking this crew, would I have an idea of how many there are? Would it be off to me that one of them would not
Roll survival.
be there? 15?
15. You're in mid-conversation when that idea pops in the back of your head. You go over the amount of bodies, and they're down. One at the very least. You don't know where they might be, so your suspicion quickly rises.
Perfect. At that point, then, I'm just kind of... Hey, wait.
Oh, okay.
We might be short a few. And then, if I could, I would like to try to look, search, I
very
guess.
easily.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an initial investigation check.
And then I'll go, hey, Ashlock, there's more. Said Rodney.
As this comes up, does Rodney pipe up with I heard clattering over here?
That's a 17.
Given previous 17, given Rodney's previous perception checks, you weren't actually able to perceive the movement of this creature for the majority of the time.
But he did hear the clattering of like a weapon being dropped.
That was the knoll.
That's what I was trying to signal towards.
Yeah. The knoll was the one that didn't roll on that 20.
Okay.
The two of you are pretty unaware of the location of this creature, but with your 17 investigation, you're able to find the initial tracks of where this creature seems to have been heading, and it seems to generally veers towards north.
So I would be following him this whole time, and I would catch on to what he's doing. I'm going to go, hey, Ashlock,
Yeah.
you want to babysit horses or go hunting?
Horses.
All right, see you later. Oh, hey, by the way, I'm Darren.
You can call me Red.
We'll shake hands. He probably... Oh, fist bump. Oh. We shake hands. His hand probably encompasses the majority of mine.
Yes.
And I was like, let's go on a hunt.
Go ahead and roll survival.
Can I help him with like my light and stuff?
You can, but not enough to give him advantage.
I was going to say with my farm boyness, I know how to track.
Do you have proficiency in survival?
Yep.
You have advantage.
Attaboy. All right. Perfect. It's a non-nat 20. 17 plus 3.
Okay. With minutes of sifting through fresh tracks, you make your way deeper into the forest, almost verging on somewhere between halfway in, halfway out. And you finally come across
Just a tip.
you take the final plunge and you're in.
That last thrust.
and you come across. Now, are you doing this
Come across or come in?
as you come closer and closer? You feel yourself verging on the edge.
I'm almost there.
And then right where you feel like you're about to get there. Right as you're about to
Oh, slow down, slow down, slow
hit
down.
that.
Too late. It's too late. Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do you want?
So,
I swear this doesn't happen all the time.
the two of you.
And this is why we brought Josh on the show.
One of many reasons. Go ahead and roll perception.
Both of us?
Yes.
Both. All right.
17.
Did you want that one?
No, that's a 5.
17.
17.
All right. The two of you come to what seems a dead end. It seems this creature caught on to your encroaching, took some precautions, and seems to be nowhere to be found. That is, unless you want to roll survival.
I mean, we're already here.
But you do feel that there is a shift in the threat. Whereas once you were tracking something that wasn't aware, now it becomes apparent.
21.
There's that part in Deliverance.
That also 21, actually. 18 plus 3.
17 plus 4.
You see tracks heading to a nearby tree, and that's where they'll leave off. But as you reach there,
Do you add any other dice to your checks?
oh shit!
Like a D4? Do you have a dragon mark?
Oh my god, I forgot about the dragon mark.
What an idiot.
He had oh shit! We have another dragon mark on this.
We do.
Oh, you didn't go.
He did go.
Oh shit. Okay, yep. Never mind. I'm shutting up. This is a different thing.
As you're tracking this creature, what do you roll?
That was a 29.
With the help of your dragon mark, you're able to close in on this creature. And before it can even get a strike off, you see this rather hardy looking goblin, bow in hand, nearly knocked before you impose with,
There you are, you little bastard.
Like every time he says something, I'm just gonna shit myself.
let's go into initiative.
Alright. 11.
How far away are they from me?
A good while. You guys were having a conversation.
Is this
while-
like any sort of perception check away?
No.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Ashlock's back there with Rodney just having a conversation about
Because you went to the horses.
late era post colonization of such and such area, blah blah blah.
You're probably going over the facts of the Scarlet War. So, what did you roll on initiative?
11.
10.
All right. So this creature, primed and ready, makes an attack against red, but with this, a 7. In its quick rush to knock its bow and
His
let
laugh
loose,
just puts me on edge.
the arrow just into the ground next to you, and that's when you let off your cackle, and you just hear red. It's your go.
Alright. How far out from me is he?
It's on a tree about 10 feet.
He's
up
in a
from you.
tree. Okay.
Chop it down.
I'm actually going to pull my short bow.
Go for it.
What?
19.
Hits.
Beautiful. That's a 6 plus 2. That's 8.
And with that, you get a good square shot into its shoulder. And you see the blood start dripping. anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to look over at Darren and just say, bitch, I can finish him before you can.
All right, cool, man.
Darren,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I'm gonna send a scorching ray his way.
Okay.
Sorry, the man just called me out. Gotta let him know what's what. 12.
Miss.
19 is the next lowest one.
Okay.
It's 5 plus 6. So,
11.
That's 5 plus 1, which is 6.
thank you,
Oh.
Marcus, for translating.
Just give me your total.
10.
10, 16.
16. You just had to say it. You hear a... And then just... As fire fills this tree. And you just see a silhouette. And then a dry, burnt husk falls from the boughs of the branches. And crashes on the floor and just clatters into bone.
Well, Red, it looks like you owe me something. How about we have dinner?
I think you might owe me a little more jerky for the shit of mine he might have had on him.
Well, let's go. Let's go, and I'll cook you up. We'll cook you up a dinner, and we'll have a conversation. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Oh, let's start walking back.
The battle ended, the last enemy slain, and a new friend made.
Potentially.
These are the ventures of a new band coming together. As Red, Darren make their way towards Ashlock, the promise of breakfast in the air.
I thought it was dinner.
Yeah, with the promise of dinner to make up for your losses. It's coming out to be a good day. That's what we're going to pick up next time on the Out of Character Adventure podcast.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
That was good.
Yeah.
So glad you're here, Josh.
Me too.
You do so much more in a fight than Ashlock does. It's great. I love it.
All right, everyone, just want to do a quick call out for the people to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And if you message or comment on any of our posts, we will react with you. And just thank you to everyone that's listening and following us. Y'all mean a lot. Thank you.
Well, with that news, hopefully you guys, and with that news, we'll leave you to this pickup. And with that news, we'll leave you lovely folks with the rest of this fantastic episode. Enjoy.
Why did that enjoy sound so weird?
It's because I was going to say something else. Pickup. And with that lovely news, we'll leave you fantastic folks with this pickup. And with that fantastic news, we leave you lovely folks with this. God damn it. Damn it. And with that fantastic news, we leave you lovely folks with this brand new episode of the Adventure.